Hey guys, welcome back to a new tutorial I'm starting, all about Java and how to program in it. Because Java is one of those languages where it's the brink between Python and C++. I personally think Java is my favourite language, and it's a really easy language to learn. Personally, I think it's easier than Python. But you know, this can vary. So I'm going to be using the Eclipse IDE. You can use your own if you want, but I'm just going to create a new Java project by pressing this button up here, and I'll call it tutorial, and just press next, and then this can already be kept how it is. You don't really need anything unless you're going to be adding some custom libraries, but in this tutorial we'll be just using, oh my god, I've got hiccups. We'll be using just the basic Java libraries. I'm going to hiccup again. This has not been going my way. So we're going to create a new Java class by just pressing File, New, Class. And we're going to call this one our main. And we're going to create a sub method called public static void. And whatever we want to do, we have to include it in there, no matter what. So I'm going to press Finish. I'm going to remove this comment. If you want to do comments, just do / that. Or where is it? That is multi-line comments. There you go, and you can just put anything in here and it will span over those lines. But we don't really need these. Yes. So first things first, output. How do we do output? Well, we need to get to the system library. So I'm going to go system.out.println, and this here will output a string. Now this string can be anything. I'll call it hello world, and I'm going to not Control A, Control S, and press run. And there we go. It's outputted at the console. I could put hello world, subscribe, full stop, grammar good, grammar, and you see it's output there. Now it's really nice and handy because we can do pretty much anything. We can output Boolean expressions. We can do all sorts. There we go. That's a Boolean expression. It's represented by true or false. We can also output variables. So I'm going to put here subscribe, and then at the end I'll just add name. And here we go. So if I highlight this, it says, well, there's no variable. So when we declare a variable, unlike Python where we can just go, name, or x equals string, something like that. Java is different. We actually have to declare what our variable is, what type it is. So we can do string name, and then we actually have to declare it. We have to manually add the description of the variable. So I'm going to put my channel name in there, Mr. Jake Watson, and then we have to end it with a semicolon. So now if I run this, we have a variable, and if we run this, it'll say subscribe to Jake Watson, which you should do if you want more of these. Variables are really good as well because they allow us to do all sorts of things, like simple calculator, for example. So if I take two integer values, I'll call integer A and integer B. Now I can say A equals 7. Don't worry, put that one there. And B equals 19. If I do system dot out print line, and then if I do A plus B, and if I run this, yes, 26, which is the answer. So a variable. Now, if you're wondering why I've just done A equals 7, like that. That's because we've actually declared the type up here, what type of variable it is up there, and the variable b. And we can declare both at the same time without declaring a value. And that just makes, you know, if you have multiple variables of the same type, it just makes it a lot easier to represent them instead of having to do 2 lines. You can just do 1, and it makes it a lot easier to do. Now, if you want to do other things like compare 2 variables, that basically we can just do if, and then in brackets very important, we can say if A is equal to B, system.out.println. We can say the something like that. They are the same. But you know, we have to declare them first, so we can say int a equals 5, b equals 7, or 5, and it should say they are the same. Running this, yep, there we go, they are the same. And if we change this to 6, it should output nothing as default. There you go. But we can also add an else statement in here, just like that. And we can just go system.out.print. Okay. They're different. And yeah, so this should now output they're different. There we go. But there's also ones like this. So if it's not equal to B, that means not. It's equal to B, then I'll put 1, for example. I should output 1. Let's cancel sort of this. I believe I've done it the wrong way round. There we go. Output 1. There's much more you can do with this as well. Like for example, we can do A, I believe, and that should output 2, because it, let me think. Yeah, I think that's right. Should be output 2. I never get these ones the right way around. I am like a sucker when it comes to getting the incrementation values the wrong way around. I can't. Okay, I suck at incrementation, but I didn't mean to do that. So we can do int a equals 5, b equals 6, and then incrementation plus equals, or equals plus 1, and that should output. Wait, oh, I was right. Blooming hell, because there was a. Oh, I hate that. Yeah, that's incrementation. There we go. Now if I do incrementation, I'm sucker for it. I'm just always selected A. You'll see that it's 1 because I've actually done it the wrong way around. I had it right around first time. I'm an idiot. There you go, 6. So they're the same, so it should be output 2 because they are equal. So it's output 2. This can be simplified, like I said before, to just plus plus or plus plus A. These will pretty much always, they're very dependent really. That's all I can say about them. So what have we learned in this lesson? We've learned how to output our our programs. We can output for our programs. We've learned about variables and how to declare a variable, like floating point variables, Boolean variables, all sorts of variables. And we've also learned about a conditional if statement and how it can be used. And you can also have nested if statements, where you just put an if statement inside an if statement, or you can just do else if, else if, else if. So that's going to pretty much cut it for our first lesson for today. If you liked this, please subscribe and like the video, and there will be definitely some more videos coming out. There will be a link to my GitHub page in the bottom, and the link in the description, and a link to all the tools you need for, well, Java, really. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching, and see you later.